Hello, my name is Jerred. I was hoping to do this after I got a haircut or a better recording space, but I wanted to pose a very simple question. What has this system given you? The way things are right now, what has it given you? Pause the video if you need to, just stop and think about it. It's giving you your phone, your car, your house. It's giving you these things. But think about that a little bit further. Has it given you affordable health care? Has it given you affordable education? Or even a job worth a damn? Has it given you any of these things? If you're like me, probably not. The national minimum wage is $7.25. The average cost of living to affordable living is about $15 an hour. A little more than double. This system has given you nothing in reality. Our infrastructure is falling apart. Our healthcare in shambles. You can only afford it if you're already rich, or if you've paid your bribes appropriately to insurance companies, and then only if they decide to take care of you. As things are going right now, it looks like they're going to give you credit caps so that if you spend too much in healthcare in a single month, year, lifetime, they can take away all of your insurance. So if you get cancer, get any of the major diseases, you can't afford it. And then they take away the regulation that would prevent you from getting cancer because of that chemical plant down the road that is poisoning you. So think about it. What has this system given you? Student loan debt, mortgage debt, healthcare debt. Sounds like just a lot of debt, but no viable means of saving yourself from it. They tell you go to school, but then you rack up more debt. You get out of school, you still have that minimum wage job. They call it entry-level position. And if you were lucky to get that entry-level position, because you might need 20 plus years of experience for a job that's meant for an 18-year-old. And the reason we give is asinine. We say that, well, burger flippers shouldn't make more than $10 an hour because ambulance drivers get paid $10 an hour. Think about it for a minute. That means they're also underpaid. I was in the service. We're underpaid. We're on the clock 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, able to be recalled on a moment's notice. We're underpaid. We were not in the service anymore. But what has the system given you? Our military, for instance. We have over 800 military bases overseas. 800. Think about that. We are in 7 nations, bombing them. Maybe 8 by now, by the time this recording gets out. Who knows? We might go to war with Korea, might go to war with Russia, who knows? Or Syria again. So when we turn to our government and ask, hey, can I have $1 for food? Can I have $1 so my kids can eat? Can I have $1 to go to school to improve myself? Can I have $1 because for my dying aunt? They tell us, no, we don't have it. Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, anybody turns and says, hey, we got this $10 billion, $10 trillion idea of an airplane. We can't spend the money fast enough. We've already spent several $trillion. I can't remember the number off the top of my head. I want to say it's about 3. Racking up debt in just Iraq and Afghanistan. And we're still there with no exit strategy. We're in Syria. We're in Iraq. We're in Afghanistan. That's all I can remember off the top of my head. There's just too many. And what do they tell us when we question that? ISIS, ISIS, ISIS. Yet we give a $100 billion weapons deal to Saudi Arabia, who is known to fund and supply ISIS. So think about that. That is what the system has given us. It has given us debt. It has given us fear. It has given us hunger. That's all it's given us. Now mind you, that's not true for everybody. The rich, they get their tax breaks. They get more money. The reason we are told with voodoo economics or trickle-down economics is that hopefully they'll rain it back down on us, they'll invest in us, and then we'll be just fine. But it has never worked. It didn't work before the stock market crash of the Great Depression. It didn't work after Reagan. It just doesn't work. But we keep doing it. I'm not going to go into an economic spiel on why not. I have an article for that. So here's what I say. Here's what the Democrats, because those are the people I side with. But if a Republican wants to push this idea, I'll support him too. I don't care. I personally would love to be the champion pushing this, but I'm just a veteran who has to eat rice and potatoes because I can't afford anything else right now. I can't even afford a haircut, as you can see. Here's what we need to do. We need to raise taxes on the wealth, including corporations. We need to raise it to FDR levels, which was roughly about 90% of their income. Which means not 90 cents on the dollar was taken, but 90 cents on the dollar was taxed. I'm not going to go into how that works. I'm not an accountant. But that roughly means it's more revenue. Now, I'm going to take away all their ways of dodging this. Save one. I'm going to give them two methods of saving money off of taxes. Ready for them? The first one. If they build a new plant, they build a new factory, I don't care what it is. They build something new in America, on American soil, not China, America. It's America, America. Continental, Hawaii, Alaska, even Guam. I don't care if it's one of our territories. But as long as it's American soil, that's all I care about. They get to take part of the cost of building it out of their taxes. Sounds simple. Here's the other half. If they create a job that's going anywhere between, let's say, $50,000 a year to $200,000 a year job, they get, for the first year that person is employed, they get to take however much they would have spent on that person, they get to take part of that off of their taxes. Let's incentivize them to create jobs here in America, and let's incentivize them to create buildings here in America, to build in America again. Oh, and for people like McDonald's, who's going to start to look at heavy automation. Now, mind you, factory workers, I don't care. Factories, if you want to go into automation, some of that's okay. Don't have a problem. I'm talking McDonald's places where they're automating everything. You're going to start paying a fee for every hour that machine is running. Let's make it $7.25 minimum wage, as it is right now. For every hour that machine is running, they're going to have to pay that much, and then they're still going to have to pay upkeep, maintenance, and all that other stuff. Let's give them a reason to want to keep humans around. So, that's just that side of it. We also need to have universal health care. You get sick, you're taken care of. What benefit does our economy have if I get sick and I'm unable to get better to get back into work? Who benefits from that? No one, except for the creditors. The hospital doesn't because they don't know if they're going to get paid. I don't because I'm dying. And the job market doesn't because they have to either replace me or hope I get better. The only people who get benefit from this is the creditors. So we need a single-payer healthcare system. Education. I don't care how old you are or what degree you're going for. If you want to go back to school, the government should pay for it, especially if you're going to a public education system. And I apologize for that background noise. I told you before I'm using a limited setup. If you want to go back to school, if you're an accountant who reached 40 and decided, I don't want to be an accountant anymore, I want to go be a welder, paid for. That simple. Because it does no one any good that if you decide, I don't like this work anymore, I don't want to do it anymore, and you're stuck doing it. So what you do instead is we allowed you to re-educate and go back to the workforce. Paid for. Done. It works. Because the sooner you're back out in the workplace, the sooner you're able to spend money back into the economy, buying things that you may not need, like a new phone, a new car, or whatever, even though both your previous generation worked just fine, but that's money back in the economy, and it being taxed the whole time. It works in the economy's favor. Healthcare, education, that's two of the major ones. And finally, infrastructure. Who does it benefit that if my car gets destroyed when I'm trying to drive to work? Instead of, well, the auto mechanics and the people who produce the parts, yeah, that helps them, but a lot of auto mechanics are here in America and the parts are overseas. We need to invest in better infrastructure. I don't like the idea of me driving to the wrong part of Chicago or Illinois and I suddenly don't have cell phone signal. And I can't call for help if I were to get into an accident or witness something. I don't like it. I grew up in the woods of Florida. There were just swaths of land where we couldn't call for help if we needed it. We need to improve the infrastructure. We need a single-payer healthcare system. These are things that all future politicians need to stand on. It is for the people, not corporations, not for the military-industrial complex, none of that. We need to stand for the people, and these are the things they need. And as I said before, I would love to be the champion of these things. I want to run on these things eventually. But right now I'm living off of rice and potatoes. If down the line I got the support financially and just a network of people, I would gladly run. The person I'd have to challenge for representative is Raja Krishnamurthy. I apologize, I butchered his name, but he is as progressive as Obama is. He believes in a $10 minimum wage, but he's not willing to fight for 15. I haven't heard him call for a single-payer healthcare system. He hasn't supported Bernie Sanders in that. He's a little more progressive than Obama in my book. He needs to be challenged. If I could, I would challenge Dick Durbin. I don't have to tell you how horrible he is. He supported Iraq. He's as bad as Hillary Clinton in my book. Who is a Republican, for all I care? But right now, you need to ask yourself about these things. Because right now, I can't fight it. But if you want these things, you're going to have to fight for it. Call your congressman. Tell them, get on board for these things. Get on board or get voted out. Some of the Democrats are starting to find out real fast that we are not going to let them. And Republicans are finding out they've got a fight ahead of them. When the AARP has actually called Trump out, and everybody who supports him, Trumpettes, on the new healthcare bill, because it's going to kill older people with debt. So, that's my piece, and that's the thought I want you to think about. I want you to be angry. I want you to be angry at how the system is abusing you, and I want you to move forward with it. My name is Jerred. Please keep in tune. Bye.